Hey, yo, welcome to La Ventanita C.F. What's going on, mi gente? Chilling here with Akeem, Calypso. What's going on, my dude?
Doing good. Yesterday was a very interesting day, not just for us, but for all teams in South Florida. So, heart attacks all around for all the sports except for the Marlins. Apparently, the Marlins lost. But all the other sports, the sports that matters.
Yeah, but the Marlins actually won today. They had
Oh,
a
they won
five
today.
in. They had a 5 run inning against the Braves, which are like the best team in
Oh,
baseball.
so we're good. We're good.
So
Everything's
so the
fine.
so the Mi- the Miami Heat threw some luck over to the
There we go.
Marlins for the next
Everything's
day,
fine. We don't
and the
have to
Panthers.
worry.
Kind of a chain reaction there, and Inter stumbling and bumbling their way into not necessarily a victory, but
Whew.
advancing
Yeah, I
beyond a
wouldn't even
couple
call what
penalties.
happened last night a win. It was very hard to call it that when it had to go to penalties and the way we lost, or the way it happened, I should say. Oh boy, that game was interesting, but we'll get into that a bit. But
Well, you want to just get right into it
yeah,
because honestly,
let me
yeah,
pull out the menu real quick. So we got what
okay.
we're gonna be going over today. We're gonna talk about more in depth about what happened last night against Miami UFC. Then I'm gonna switch it up a bit since it was a midweek game, since it was Open Cup. We're actually instead of going around the MLS since we haven't played in a while in MLS games, we're gonna go around the Open Cup and see what happened around there, and also talk about the draw happened earlier today, and we know who our next opponents are gonna be, and we're actually gonna host a little preview there. We're gonna host the next game, and I'll go through who we're gonna be facing. After that, we're gonna talk Gold Cup because Dry Pink Stadium is actually hosting all of the prelims for the Gold Cup, which makes sense because it's a bunch of Caribbean teams, and it makes sense logistically for them to just all come here and play their games. And we're going to talk about that. Trinidad's going to be playing, so I might actually go to that game. Then we're going to very shortly talk about the game versus the Crew. There isn't really much to talk about. Nothing much has changed. We've played a game since our last game, and we haven't really seen anything different. So I doubt we're gonna get much there. And then a new addition that we're gonna try and do at the end of every podcast, just go over headlines, just small things that aren't worth talking about for more than a few minutes. Mostly just call ups and like trades or like smaller things that are happening with the team. Just little bits of information that you should know about.
Awesome, awesome. Sounds good. So sounds like we got a really loaded episode. I'm super tired. Definitely not hungover. I'm not drinking anymore. Actually, been clean for like 3 or 4 weeks, which has been awesome.
Good shit, dude.
But last night was a lot. Thank you. Last night was a doozy though. Between that game that went to PKs, the change of weather from humid ass hot night to chilly as hell at the end.
I had my jacket
Um,
with me, and I
that
was
sh-
like, bro, I
that change
expected
of
to rain.
that change of weather actually fucked me up a bit. But whatever. The Heat game. As you guys can tell, my voice is shot. We sang all night last night.
Mm-hmm.
We sang we sang some interesting songs. There's actually, you know what? Getting right into it, we sang some songs that were a little controversial. Phil Neville claims to not understand what we were saying, and
No,
I
he said he
don't,
didn't hear it. He said he specifically said he didn't hear it.
I, I wouldn't be surprised because he's a very naive human being. I think to him it's just background noise. He's very he's a very entitled person. He's a fucking ex Manchester United player. He came to MLS like Gonzalo Higuain, thinking he'd come in here and smoke cigarettes on the bench and just fucking chill and have an easy way through. And he would just build one tactical system and that would work throughout the year and that'd be fine for him. He's a lazy coach to me. He's a lazy piece of shit, and I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't hear us. I don't want to. I don't think he's lying, but if if he's telling the truth that he didn't hear us or if he didn't hear us into it, it's just a testament to how naive he is and how entitled he is and how he doesn't really care what we're saying or what we're singing to him, right? And he speaks a little bit of Spanish. I don't expect him to understand those songs. Like you said in the chat earlier today, you needed the translation, right?
Yeah,
You know when we sing it, it's bad because you hear some bad
I had
words.
an idea of what it was, but I didn't know the exact like translation.
Yeah, when you hear like jugadores, which you know is players, la concha de su madre, which is your mother's conch shell, which you can imagine what a conch shell is supposed to be annotating to, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, telling them see if you could put some balls, a ver si ponen huevos, porque no juegan con nadie. You don't play with anybody, and it's true, right? And the Argentine players, Negri and Stefan, they know that song.
They know that
It's
song,
very
100%.
famous in Argentina. Whether they're sharing it with their teammates or not, Ulloa Pizarro probably recognize the song. A lot of the players who speak Spanish recognize the song. I don't think it's something you want to talk about during the game. It's something I don't think I want our players talking about, right? I want them to be focused on the game anyway. So they're professionals. They've heard worse. They've been to Orlando where they come up with cheesy shit, but they're just basically blatantly cursing them at them. At least we're expressively doing it, and creatively with words instead of "fuck Miami."
Yeah, the fucking lame ass shit.
Yeah, yeah,
Fuck
yeah, so
Miami.
lame.
Oh, we said the bad word on broadcast. Tee tee tee. Like that shit is so
They're
fucking
so
pedestrian
they're so
middle
lame.
school.
So lame. And at least we have like nice chants like that that demanded. But I'm not surprised by Neville, and he's so naive that when he came around to us, right, when everybody was like there bombarding him by the fence and like telling him "fuck you" and like flicking him off, and he thought that we were gonna be happy that like he won this shit in PKs and they put
Hmm.
up this horrible performance. He's like clapping and pointing at his at the
At the
shield.
badge,
I told him
yeah,
don't fucking point at that shit. You don't represent that shit, bro. You're
yeah.
you're a piece of shit. Get the fuck out of here. We're done with Phil Neville as a fan base. It's over, bro. This is horrible, man. This is 6 or 7 games. I put my voice down on this team for this team every time, dog. You can hear me. I can barely talk. And this isn't from teaching, because guess what? It was take your child to work day, so there was no kids at school today. I didn't have to yell at kids today. My voice is shot because of this and a few "Let's Go Heat" chants at a fucking bar,
Yeah,
after the
yeah.
game. But
My
we do a lot. We do a lot, bro. And
we
and
do.
when the point is, we do a lot for the team, and we don't get anything in return in terms of performance on the field, and that's inexcusable. If you consider yourself an Inter Miami fan, you should demand more, because this isn't adequate uh, reciprocation from the fan base, from the support this team's got in the first 3 4 years now. You don't see it on the field, and you see them go through a Latin coach in 1 year, but you get this white coach who's friends with the friend, right? And people don't want to hear this. People definitely don't want to hear this, right? But it's a sad reality of it. This guy's held the job for way too long. It's I don't understand how he hasn't been fired yet. And if this Miami FC game is in any way an extension of it, they're gonna lose to Charlotte, which we're gonna talk about it in a little bit, and they're
Charleston.
gonna lose the game, Charleston, and they're gonna lose to fucking Columbus as well, because what have we seen different from Inter? We looked at this Miami FC game. Talk about stats. You said you want to talk about stats. 75% possession, was it, or more? I saw something more or
75.
something. I thought like 80 almost. Fucking insane, yeah. And Miami FC posted it. 75% possession, the majority, the lion's share of the passes, shots on goal,
Hmm.
you name it.
Hmm.
You name it. It was a
We had
statistical.
14 corners.
It was a lopsided game. They literally scored the goal. They fell back and they said, "We dare you to score." And what did we do? No creative output, just cross after cross, empty cross after empty cross after empty cross. After just in the 88th minute, I guess Miami FC just was so fucking done with getting bombarded by crosses that one goes in by Borja. As soon as I'm talking shit about him. Funny enough,
Yeah, that did
Borja.
happen. You were like, yeah, we were sat because we were next to each other during the game. We are up in the front row, and then you're like, yo,
Remember
boys,
the
did it?
first game?
Yeah,
Remember the first game I said he was gonna score. Now I said get him out, and then he scores.
yeah. And you specifically say like Borgelin hasn't showed me anything, and then like legit 2 minutes after you say that he scores. Probably not
Talking
even
about
2 minutes.
Borja was all right. He gets the
He had
goal.
a
He
decent
gets the
game,
goal.
and like I was saying to you at the game, like I'm not expecting much from him. People like Stefanelli, people like Martinez, people like Campana, I expect way, 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 way more out of. But he had a decent game. He's gonna need games like that to build his confidence, and not even just that, to build like what's the best, like to build his experience in those type of games, because they were like those Miami FC players were giving him a lot of shit. Like they were
We
treating him
we
like a grown
called
ass man.
we called for him to start
Yeah,
here
I
on the
think he should
last
start.
pod.
He needs to get experience like this.
We called for him to start. I think he should start against Columbus as well.
Hmm.
Actually, no. Well, I would have said that
Why
last
not?
weekend. I
Why
would
not? What else are we doing?
because we're so far behind. We got to go for it. You got to put your best players on the field. I know you're of the idea of just putting the young guys now
Not
because we're
necessarily.
losing, but listen, here's here's why it's not gonna happen, and why I well here's the two trains of thoughts, right? If you're Phil Neville, which
Hmm.
that's the person selecting the team, he's playing for his job right now, right? He's coaching for his job, so he's gonna put the best players in. He's gonna put the most talented players, whether they're bums or not, which
Mm-hmm.
they're bums. They're fucking bums. They're gonna make him look worse. But if he puts in the young players, what's gonna happen is they might get you a goal or two, Akeem, but they're gonna give up 2 or 3 more goals, and it's
Mm-hmm.
gonna be one of those more entertaining matches. You're right. It's better for their development. It's gonna get them better. But I'll agree with you there once the interim coach gets in there. I don't know. Once an interim coach gets in there, if we're really out of it, yeah, put the young guys in. But I think it's still kind of early in the season. It's what 6, 7 games in.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I say go for it. I say play Campana, play Martinez, play Pizarro, play your best players, and see what you can get out of this. But um, the game, the game was overall poor. There
Yes.
wasn't a lot of good performances. Harvey Neville was the lowest rating. Did you see his rating? Did you see that
I did
earlier
not,
today?
but he did. He didn't look great.
He had like a 2 point something.
Oh,
He was
jeez.
absolute dog
Holy
water.
shit.
Yeah, he was just really fucking bad.
Yikes.
And that's another part of this whole Neville experiment, right? Is we're gonna have this guy signed. Um, even after we fire his dad, which is gonna be awkward and weird. But
I mean, I honestly don't
um,
really care about that. That's whatever.
I
That
don't care about it either. It's just awkward and weird. It's just,
I mean, I'm
ugh,
pretty sure he knows like this is a business more than anybody. Seeing
yeah.
like growing up with his family in the business, so he pretty much knows that like him or his dad can go in any second. Either his
Yeah.
dad can get fired or some USL team like, hey, here's
He's.
X amount of
I don't think
money.
he. I don't think he's good enough to even play in USL.
I mean, when I say USL, I mean all of the USL, like USL one and
Yeah,
two.
no.
So
Yeah,
like,
I know.
I'm
USL
when I say
two.
USL, I just mean lower division. Like somebody's gonna need a body and a right back. Like how we sent Beckham to Brentford, it's like shit like that.
Yeah,
Who I think
but
he's still there.
that's easier to do. Actually, well, his last name is Neville, so I wouldn't be too hard to do. You're right.
hmm Just put him on
You're
like
right about that.
a USL one team. Fuck it, why not? Let him go train there or put him on loan. I don't think that's anything out of nowhere. But yeah, but I don't think that's gonna be too crazy. As far as my thoughts on the game and Neville in general, I'm less harsh on him. Like he said, he's dog shit. I'm less harsh on him like that because I'm very forgiving when it comes to stuff like this. My whole thing is he's become predictable. He's a liability because if I, as someone who's just a guy on Twitter who just looks at the game and can clearly see, if I can figure out our system, then someone who's a coach, who's a player, who does this professionally, they're looking at our video and like, look, all they're gonna do is just cross. So we're just gonna sit back and just let them cross, and that's exactly what they did, and that's what every team has done since the game after Philly. We got figured out after the first 2 games to just realize, okay, they have nothing up the middle because the only person playing up the middle is Gene Mota. He's literally
There's no creativity.
he's
There's
not
no
even just that,
creativity in the
not
middle.
even just physically like X's and O's. You just have one person in the middle surrounded by 4 people. So of course he's not going to get the ball. Of course we you. I don't care who is in that midfield. If you have one person surrounded by 4 people, unless you're like literally Messi in the midfield, then I don't see how you can even play through the middle. Because we have people on the wings, we have the one midfielder in the middle, and then we have 2 people playing up top, at the very top. Normally, I don't know. I don't think we did it this game. So how are you gonna make that transition from the back line through to the front unless you use the wings?
This is my issue with Neville, and why this is dog water, because you just use the same tactic all year. He did it. He tries to change it like once a year. It maybe works. Like, why don't we have more than one tactic? Why don't we have more than one formation?
Yeah,
Why don't we have more than what? You're professionals. They're lazy, dude. They're absolutely, like I said. This is somebody coming in, cashing in a check, their friend easing them up. And if I'm Jorge and Jose Mas, I'm fucking pissed off at Beckham. I'm. This is horrible. This was a horrible hire. This was a. This has been a horrible 3 fucking years. You can't convince me otherwise. It's been mediocre, and I know we've had sanctions, but we've had a better roster than this. We really do.
yeah, because
And
especially when you
how
look at
how this man has a job is beyond me.
especially when you look at
It's
other
beyond me. It's his job.
players, the players that we have shipped off, and how most of them are playing better in different systems because they're playing the way they need to be playing. But now Phil Neville is, yeah, and I didn't even think about it until you just mentioned it. Every year we have a specific formation and strategy, and that is word and law, and we do not change from that. So,
One,
so he
one.
figures out a formation. He's like, "Hey, I think this will work," and then it doesn't work,
It
and he's
doesn't.
like, "Oh shit, we didn't come up with a backup plan. All right, run it back, do it better." It's like, then you're gonna get figured out, and I think more than this season, more than any season, we've gotten figured out. And it's so because of the formation, we have no creativity up the middle.
People sit back. People sit back and they just counter us
And yeah,
all
they
day
just are cool.
long.
They are going to use the wings
They let
and
us
cross
possess.
nonstop.
We've had the possession, the advantage possession every game this year. I think.
Yeah,
Or
and we
almost
just hold the
every
ball, and that's funny because that was the problem last year, right? We couldn't hold on to the ball to save our life. We just only did counterattack. We only counterattacked. We just let people come at us, and now it's flipped. Now it's the complete opposite. Now we have the ball all day and do nothing with it. So it's kind of crazy how he picks one strategy, and then that's the strategy you get, and there's no creativity. And I don't, and it's coming. I'm kind of shifting. It's kind of hard for me to blame the players when that is the coaching that you get. This is the one thing you get, and the coach, you have to listen to the coach. You're not gonna like fucking go into business for yourself, to use a wrestling term.
You wanna put on your aluminum foil hat?
Go ahead. I'm already wearing a hat. There's some aluminum foil like lined up in there somewhere.
If you don't get the reference, I think what's the movie Crops? I can't remember the name of it. I think it's a Mel Gibson movie with but it's hilarious. I saw it as a little kid. Whatever. Conspiracy theory time. Yedlin scored that goal on purpose to try to get Neville fired.
I don't think Drake would go for something like that because I from what I
I don't
remember,
think Drake is in on it.
Drake wasn't even looking at
I don't
Yedlin.
think Drake's in on it. I don't think Drake's in on it. I think Yedlin's just so.
Yeah, no, Drake wasn't looking at him.
I think Yedlin hates Neville that much.
But he almost fucking scored a banger.
He was the captain. Yo, speaking of captain, Christopher McFucking Vay is the captain. Phil Neville's lineup. What a joke! This guy's such a piece of shit. Dude.
I mean, I don't really care too much about captain. You literally have to have one.
Dude, I know, but the lineup was so bad. Benjamin Kramashi was dog shit. The whole fucking lineup
Kramashi
was
didn't
dog
have a
shit.
good game.
He did not respect Miami FC at all. And they came out and shanked their asses.
I mean, he's a kid.
Before anybody got it, before anybody got in the stadium, Miami FC scored a goal, dog. Like,
yeah, I was in the parking lot.
Anthony Pulis got one on Neville, bro. And Neville came out with a weak ass squad.
Mm-hmm.
It's absolutely just disgusting to me, bro, because it just shows me that he has job security. He felt comfortable enough to come out with a dog shit squad. He knew if he lost this game, nothing was gonna happen to him. He knows. I think he probably knows that he has like the whole year, maybe, which is like.
I mean, he did get a contract extension, so.
I don't give a shit.
I don't give a shit either. But it is.
Get him out.
Yeah, no, I think it is.
Well, hey, what's it called? Bryce Duke got a contract extension.
Yeah, true.
We trade Phil Neville. For some gam.
Yeah, like I didn't even say I even posted.
In gam.
I even posted on my personal account. Like even win or loss, I think based on that goal that we conceded, he should be fired on that alone. Because I don't want to say he's not taking it seriously, but he's just his taxes just aren't good, and we need better taxes. Like I legitimately think we have a decent squad. I think we're good enough to be.
We've had a decent squad every year.
We always have a decent squad.
Every year.
We should be we should be like a mid-table team every year. We should be a mid-table team.
Middle playoff.
Yeah,
team. I would say
eighth,
like a 5 seed.
Between 6th and 8th, that's where we should like slot in right there every year. That's where we need to be. That should be the bare minimum right there.
Maybe if we had a coach that had MLS experience and understands the league, maybe.
I don't harp on that too much because not every coach has to have that. Because especially with the sporting director that we do have, we have a sporting director that understands the league pretty well, and he can. I think that helps out a lot. I think someone with just better coaching overall, it would be better. Regardless of MLS experience, we just need a better coach in general.
What about Tata Martino?
I mean, he's kind of checks all the boxes. He knows how to talk to players in MLS. He knows MLS. He's worked with Martinez, so he knows him pretty well. He knows the league. A slight plus is he's Hispanic, so that helps a lot of our players. So I think it's a good deal. Where is he right now? I'm not sure. Is he just
in
not
Mexico.
in Mexico? Oh, that's right.
Mexico.
And I heard we had a. There was rumors that we had another Mexican coach, but Michelle Kaufman shut that down pretty
The
quick.
Chivas.
Yeah,
The
Michelle Kaufman
Chivas
shut that
guy.
down.
I don't want that guy. That guy
Yeah,
is
she
horrible.
shut
He
that
won the
down
wooden spoon
so
twice.
fast. She was like, "Nope, that's not happening." I talked to my and she's legit. She's the goat when it comes to reporting on South Florida sports. Her what she says goes. I will listen to Michelle Kaufman over everybody. So
I mean, maybe, maybe.
I mean, she's the
I get you.
she has experience.
I get
She
you.
definitely knows what the fuck she's talking about.
I get you. I get you, but like even me, like with my science background, I'm always open to anything.
Oh no, of
Like,
course, of course, of
there's
course, of
things
course.
that maybe
But if Michelle says
So,
it, I'm like,
well,
okay,
well,
Michelle said it. All right, like shit, like Michelle
I,
fucking
I,
said it.
I hope she's right about it because the guy was dog shit anyway.
Yeah, so I
He's
would get.
dog
I
shit
think
a lot,
Tata
yeah.
would be good.
But this is
Yeah, I think he would be a good
I thought-
pick. Better. He's better than Phil Neville. I'll tell you that much.
yeah, yeah. So how was your experience at coming out of Miami from Broward?
So it wasn't that bad because I got fucking lost. Go walking back to my car. So like, I don't know if I told you this when I got there. So I had to get to the stadium late because I was at work. And so when I got off the turnpike, I parked at the very first parking spot as soon as you get in. And apparently that was behind like a bunch of baseball fields, and it was not even when I got there, it was already dark. So
You
I
didn't park. You didn't park. You didn't even park in like the Miami FC parking. You parked in the
no
park.
because I like by where the Cuban Memorial, I didn't park over there. No, because like I said, I was
Yeah,
late.
you didn't. You should have.
I
But it
I
doesn't
was
matter. You
I
could
was
have
20
parked
minutes late, so I'm like I'm not gonna sit there and drive around for another hour just to find parking.
No, you don't have to drive around for an hour. They direct you where to park. There's people
They
that
had
get paid to.
they they weren't there. They just had a couple signs and that was it. There was nobody directing shit.
If you would know, there is nobody directing. If you follow the signs,
Mm.
dude, I'm telling you because I'm a local. This is
Yeah, no,
what I
you
grew
know
up,
more
this
than
is what
I
went to
do. I don't
college.
even live in Miami.
This is
I
why I
live
go
in
to the
Broward.
fair. So if you would have followed the signs,
Mm-hmm.
it would have taken you to two dudes smoking cigarettes and sipping out of a flask that
Yeah.
are literally like guiding your car into parking spaces. And it's a ginormous field, and they build like a parking lot.
Yeah, I
And
know they
it's
have the
like no
Cuban
block.
Memorial over
They-
there.
Yeah, it's not just like show up and like fight for a parking spot. It's
Mm.
very organized in the sense that it's people directing you where to park, and it makes things move a lot faster. Like, have you ever been to Universal Studios or Disney? Like,
No-
they
yeah.
guide you into your, they guide you
Yeah,
into your spot.
once you get that
way-
far.
Yeah, you just have to follow the signs.
Yeah,
You know, they're not gonna have somebody at like every sign. They're just,
yeah.
You're just gonna follow the signs, and then once you follow them, so that would have saved your day for next time. For next.
Yeah,
class.
now I
You
know.
You know that even if you're late, it's because But what you're saying, I know where you parked. You parked by the baseball fields.
Behind the
which is-
baseball fields, yeah. So I had
like-
gotten lost, and
That's almost like a half mile. That's almost like a half mile, dude. It's a really big park.
and now on top of that, I wasn't paying attention because, like I said, it was so dark because there's no lights in that area. I forgot what side of the stadium that I came in on, because I came on one side, but I had to walk around to the other entrance where we were let in. So I was literally walking in circles, like the fucking Israelites in the Bible, 40 days and 40 nights, walking around. I was so exhausted, bro.
I'm sorry. I'm really sorry to say this, but you're such a Broward dude.
I
You
am.
know,
I'm
like,
not even gonna lie.
You're such a
On top of
This is
that,
like- because that parking experience is such a typical Miami.
yeah.
Going to the fair thing, like it's very.
And
normal
I've been
for-
to the
But
fair
you
a
know,
bunch of times.
Yeah, they do the same thing with you. The thing is, you're probably just used to a long line. You got there late. They're still there.
Mm.
They're still like until like probably until halftime. Really.
Yeah, and on top of
This
that,
is
since
so much
since it
more
was
late.
so dark, I couldn't see shit. So I couldn't like normally. I'm like, okay, I remember seeing a tree or something or some kind of landmark, but it was pitch black because there's no lights in those fields.
I know you have Samsung, but with iPhone, it's funny. It records where I park.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's a feature I did too. I was just in such in a rush because I had rushed over straight from work that I was like, let me just get to the game and worry about that shit later. So I don't think I got home till like I don't think I got to my house till like past midnight.
So welcome to Dade County.
Yeah,
The
for real.
locals, I live like 2 miles away, so we went to the bar New Wave of Billiards across
Mhm.
the avenue there across 107 from FIU. It's a local spot. We've always been going there and shit. We watched the Heat game. It was pretty dope. But Miami Classico was dope. And the anxiety was horrible. Inter Miami's performance was piss poor. And I guess we can just get into around the Open Cup because I'm getting tired and we
Mm-hmm.
gotta get through this thing.
So yeah, I
But
was
yeah,
just checking
that's
on
the
that.
meat of the episode, really.
So yeah,
So I have
let's.
it here actually.
Okay, you can go ahead.
I Yeah. So first first score that pops up is actually the team that we're gonna play. Charleston Battery 1-0 against Charlotte Independence.
Nice.
The next one was Pittsburgh Riverhounds. They won 2-0 against the Maryland Bobcats. How these USL teams are playing random scrub teams, I have no idea in this round.
Because they
We're
have
playing
to
Miami FC, but
basically the lower league teams have to qualify to get to the upper rounds, basically.
yeah, but Miami FC kind of drew the shit out of the stick having to play us. But whatever, fuck Miami FC
Yeah.
anyway.
They're a lower league team,
Motherfuckers
so
up
it
and
is
down.
what it is.
Yeah. Hey, Charlotte won 4-1, and they had a
Mm-hmm.
red card against South Georgia Tormenta. We beat them last year.
Mm-hmm.
Detroit lost to Minnesota. New England beat Hartford. St. Louis beat Union Omaha, so that's their first Open Cup match ever, I believe. I don't know. I don't think they played in it last year.
Yeah, no, they
Sporting
weren't. They
Kansas
weren't
City.
last year.
Sporting Kansas City beat Tulsa Athletic. Monterey Bay beat San Jose, so
That
that's
was
a cup set
crazy,
right there.
and that was I think that
What
was a
happened there?
similar. I tweeted about this. The basically how the first half happened. That was what happened with us. They scored very early off a mistake, and they just defended the rest of the game and they just held it out. I actually watched the second half of that game.
So that's a cup set. I wouldn't agree with you. Not that crazy, typical US shit. But yeah, um, it is crazy that it's a cup set. And I'm glad to see one because there's a lot of them. Next one is Cincinnati being Louisville City FC 1-0. I believe Louisville City has won USL before.
Mm.
Loudoun United, they beat Flower City Union 5-0. Reading that name and seeing that they have no crest on Google tells me that that's a really
It's
low team.
it's literally it's on the MLS website. It's literally
And
just a purple flower.
yeah, Flower City Union.
I think
So
they're
hey,
from. I think
that's
they're
the
from.
beauty of the Open Cup. That's the beauty of the Open Cup. If a team like that could have beat a team like Loudoun United, which is a USL team, that would have been really cool.
I think they're from
But
Louisville. Let me just double check.
probably.
You can go ahead.
All right. So while you double check, DC United beat Richmond Kickers 1-0. Atlanta United fell down to Memphis 901 FC
Yes.
2-1. So another cup set, and this time instead of a USL team falling down, it's actually no, they're both MLS teams. Yeah, so that was the first one was San Jose
Yeah.
falling down, and now Atlanta. So pretty cool. Two MLS teams completely out of the Open Cup. I'm not surprised. I'm sure these teams
It's
actually
gonna
probably
happen.
kind of
You're gonna
really.
get one or two of them.
It's gonna happen, and a lot of teams don't really give a shit because they want to focus on MLS, and I think it's stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Because I love the Open Cup, fans love the Open Cup, but teams obviously don't. Tampa Bay Rowdies fell to Houston Dynamo 1-0. That's a sad one. It would have been cool to have Tampa Bay around.
Yeah.
We got Columbus beating Indy 11 1-0. Cool to see Indy 11 back. I think they're in USL now.
They were
old NASL team.
so good. Like a few years ago, they were like the team to beat in the USL.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. Miami FC versus Inter Miami. That one went to penalties. It drew 2-2 after stoppage time. Not after stoppage time, extra time as well. We had overtime in that one.
Mm-hmm.
So we played a total of 120 minutes. A crazy ass game. Inter Miami goes down 1-0. And within the first 2 minutes, people are still coming to the stadium. We score in the 88th minute, literally bookend goals, and then we go down from an own goal. DeAndre Yedlin hits it, a Drake calendar, like
The saboteur.
yeah, dude, doing extra time, and then out of nowhere, we get a header. Was it Kamal Miller?
No, it was Ryan Saylor.
It was Ryan Saylor. Okay, pretty dope.
Yeah, one of the crosses
crazy-
that we actually, actually finished. An actual
You know
good
what? I'll
cross.
take that because if we would have left it as a loss, it would have been really ugly. So at least
Mhm.
we came out advancing, and we have another chance, and we'll talk about that other chance right after this. But Birmingham Legion, they advanced against Chattanooga on penalties as well.
Mm-hmm.
That game drew 1-1. Chicago beat Chicago House
Yeah.
3-0. I don't whatever.
They're like a brand new
Nashville.
team. They came out a couple of years ago. I remember their announcement. They're a very new team.
Are they NPSL or something?
I think they're like NASL or something like that, like one of those weird ass leagues.
NASL is extinct. Yeah, or NISA.
Sorry,
but-
Nisa. I meant Nisa. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're like a Nisa team. Yeah.
Nashville beat San Antonio 1-0. New Mexico United beat Phoenix Rising 2-1. Colorado beat Northern Colorado 3-1. Las Vegas Lights fell to Real Salt Lake 3-1. Seattle
Yeah,
Sounders
Las
beat
Vegas
San
Lights are
Diego
garbage
5-4.
right now.
I gotta see the highlights of that game. 5-4. That's crazy. Seattle versus
Yeah,
San
that's
Diego.
yeah. Oh my god, yeah. Watch the highlights
Yeah,
of that. I don't care who you are if you listen to this. Watch the highlights of that game. It
I
went
mean
to
5-4. You get soccer game that goes 5-4. You gotta watch
yeah.
that. Sacramento beat Oakland 1-0. Portland beat Orange County SC 3-1, and that's is it. And my voice is done after reading all that open
Yeah,
for a
just
couple
to
years.
go back, I actually looked it up. Flower City Unit is actually based out of Rochester, New York,
Cool.
and
All right.
they are also a NISA team. I didn't know that they're a NISA team. All right, so now that we went over the games that already happened, now we, like I mentioned, we had the draw today, and now we have the next set of games that are going through. So on Tuesday, May 9th, we got some Tuesday games. We have Inter Miami CF going up against Charleston Battery in Drive Pink Stadium. That'll be pretty awesome at 7 p.m. Then we had the other draw that we were in, the group that we were in. Charlotte FC is going to host Orlando City in North Carolina. They're not going to be playing in their main stadium. They're going to be playing at their other stadium, the one that they use their MLS Next Pro team for. They're using it. It's like a sports complex.
That makes sense because they don't expect a big attendance.
Yeah. And yeah, it's on a Tuesday. Like fuck it. Then we have, because I also have the stadiums here as well, so I'll list those as well. We also have,
They play in a 70,000,
yeah,
NFL stadium.
they're playing the Panther Stadium. That shit is way too big for them.
So
They need their own
it
stadium.
it would also cost them a bunch of money
That's true.
to run
That's
that.
true. Well, no, no, not really. Because actually, no, yeah, you're right. Because I thought they had the same owners, but they don't. They just use the stadium. So to rent that out, it will be expensive. Um, then we have New York Red Bulls hosting DC United. They're gonna be up in New Jersey. We have New England Revolution hosting the Pittsburgh Riverhounds in Gillette Stadium. I actually watched highlights for the last game. That stadium was empty. I don't know why they're holding Open Cup games in Gillette Stadium. That's fucking stupid. Um, then we have Chicago Fire hosting St. Louis City at SeatGeek Stadium in Bridgeview. So that's the same thing like Charlotte hosting it in their other stadium. Minnesota United is going to be hosting Philly Union at Allianz Field. Sacramento Republic is going to host Colorado Rapids. So that should be interesting. That's a game to look out for. Having MLS teams travel to lower league teams is always like really good for atmosphere. Same thing for Monterey Bay. They're going to be hosting LAFC in Seaside, California. I believe that's like near San Diego. So that's going to
Pretty
be
cool. That's
interesting. I remember like while I was watching that other game, like I said, how they beat San Jose, and you can see like boats and shit in the background. Like it was really cool venue. Then for the Wednesday games, we have Loudoun United hosting Columbus Crew up in Leesburg, Virginia. We have Cincinnati hosting New York at their main stadium in TQL. New York City FC, I should specify that they're hosting. Then we have Birmingham Legion hosting Memphis 901 FC. Fun fact: Yedlin is a part owner of Memphis 901.
that's cool.
Him and Tim Howard, they own that team.
Nice.
Then we have Nashville SC hosting Dallas at Geodis Park in Nashville. Houston hosting Sporting KC in Shell Energy Stadium. Austin hosting New Mexico United. I think that's a game to watch because I think New Mexico can beat them. Austin has been struggling like, as of late. Like even in the standings, they're not doing so hot. They're like middle of the road standings. I think New Mexico can beat them, and if they beat them in TQL, that'd be crazy. And we have LA Galaxy hosting Seattle Sounders. That should be a good game. And then lastly, we have at Providence Park the Timbers hosting Real Salt Lake. That's going to be a late game, 10:30 for us.
Cool. So a lot of midweek action in a few weeks coming up.
Yup,
That's
yup,
definitely
yup.
dope. What do we got next on the menu, my dude?
Let me pull up
Charleston
the
Battery.
menu. Yeah,
Talking about Charleston Battery. Talking about that game.
yeah,
What we could just talk about Columbus and Charleston Battery together
yeah.
because
We can go ahead.
it's gonna be this. It's the same outlook as long as Phil Neville is the coach,
Yeah,
and it's a lot of the same shit we said earlier. So I personally am done expecting anything from Inter Miami.
hmm
As long as Phil Neville is the coach, to me, all I can expect is for them to lose.
hmm
That's it. Sorry.
because it's not like I think the team is bad. It's just I don't have any um, faith in Phil Neville figuring out any other strategy than crossing the damn ball and holding possession. Like it's such an easy system to figure out that it's hard for me to look at the team and be like, okay, I see things that can change here and change there. If Phil Neville's the coach and he's just gonna do that one strategy, then we can't really beat anybody in MLS. Like it's hard to
Welcome
expect
to
them
La
to do this.
Ventanita. Welcome to La Ventanita. Have a great day. Right?
Yeah, like
There's
like
the nutshell of this episode.
yeah,
As like he said, like Akeem just said, that's all we can expect is nothing.
yeah. Um,
And
so now that we got that taken care of, we got Gold Cup taken care of. Let's look forward a
no,
little
no,
bit.
Gold Cup,
That's,
Open Cup.
that's what I meant to say. Yeah, we took
Yeah,
care of
we,
Open
we,
Cup.
we, we, we took care of Open Cup, and now we're talking about Gold Cup.
Yes, yes.
Cool, cool.
Two cups going on. So we have some Gold Cup prelims coming up. Some of them listeners might be interested in this because there's a lot of random Caribbean teams that people might be part of, kind of like me. I'm Trinidadian. We got some games going on. So the prelims are, like I mentioned, all being held at Drive Pink because a lot of Caribbean teams. So the first,
Can I say something real quick?
go right ahead.
Can I say something? My mood has totally changed as soon as we just shut the door on Inter. Like talk.
We're done with that. We're mostly done with
wait.
Inter for the rest of the episode.
But
up until the last part.
and we're talking about Gold Cup, and you mentioned like the Caribbean, and like I don't know, I'm just happy.
Yeah,
I love the Caribbean. I love the Gold Cup,
and
they
people
come in
show up for these games. That's the
Yeah,
fun
yeah,
part.
yeah.
People come out to these games.
Well, we tell you guys all the time about going to things like Inter Miami 2, and like I personally like I go to Miami FC matches and like going to live soccer matches. Like there's something therapeutic about going to a match that's not Inter. That doesn't mean like so much.
You're not so emotionally invested. You just get to enjoy the game.
Or it's a different emotional investment because the Inter one is a repetitive one that you see all the time. So like when you go see a national team, like you go see Trinidad, like that's really cool for you, right? And I'm not sure if Cuba. I'm really excited to hear what you're saying because I thought I saw Cuba. I looked at something earlier that said they're not there, and I actually kind of want to see Cuba play. So I'm excited.
I think
If you say Cuba's playing, I think Puerto Rico is playing. I think I want to go see Puerto Rico as well. I want to go to a few games. But if Cuba's playing, I definitely want to go. I'll wear my USA gear. Sorry,
I believe
here.
I believe Cuba is in the
but
I believe Cuba's in the next round. This is specifically the preliminary round that I'm going to read off right now.
okay, go ahead and tell me what's going on.
So there's going to be three.
And when?
Yes, it is going to be. So a lot of these games are going to be on the same day, just so you know. So there's three listed dates here: June 16th, June 17th, June 20th. I feel so sorry for the groundskeeper crew. That's gonna be.
Yeah, I thought of that too.
Because they're having three. They're having 3 games a day.
Yeah, they have like 9 matches.
Yeah, so June 16th is gonna be Trinidad and Tobago facing Guadalupe. That's gonna be at 4:30. Then right after that, at 7 o'clock, is gonna be Martinique versus Saint Lucia, and then the last game at 9 p.m. is gonna be Curacao versus Saint Kitts and Nevis. So that's going to be June 16th. Then June 17th, we have French Guiana versus St. Martin at 4:30. Suriname versus Puerto Rico at 7 p.m. That should be an interesting game. A lot of people are going to show up to that game. I'm expecting. And then the last game, I think a lot of people show up to this too. Guyana versus Grenada at 9 p.m. And then
the 20th would be, I think, yeah, what's the 20th?
The 20th would be, it's the winners of each prelim. So I'll just read it off real quick. Prelim winner 1, which is Trinidad versus Guadeloupe, will go up against prelim winner 2, which is Guyana Grenada. Then we have the winner of Martinique and St. Lucia facing the winner of Puerto Rico Suriname. And then we have the winner of Curacao St. Kitts versus the winner of, French Guiana St. Martin. So they have 2 games, like 2 days of games, and a couple days later, the winners are playing in the same day.
So no Cuba then?
I think they're in the next round, but I can double check that real quick.
Is the next round at Drive Pink?
I think so. Because I remember seeing Cuba somewhere, but specifically these prelims, I remember seeing a different chart that had Cuba on there.
So yeah, but so
yes, they're already in the next round. They're in a group with Honduras, El Salvador, and Nicaragua.
So they're not gonna play.
Yeah. So here's how it's gonna work, right? So those prelims that I just mentioned, right? They take up the final 3 spots for the teams that have already qualified. So that's what these prelims are for taking up the last 3 spots. The teams that have already qualified Group pot one. I'm not gonna say group one because it's pot one because they get mixed in and get reshuffled again. Pot one: USA, Costa Rica, Canada, and United States. That's pot one because they're the higher seeds. Pot two: Panama,
I know we
Haiti.
got our groups already.
Not
We got
no
our
because we
groups
have to because remember the higher seeds get put into the groups first, just like the World Cup.
We have our Gold Cup. I'm pretty sure we're talking about it in about 106. So whatever. Talk
Mm.
about it for now. I'll look it up. Yeah, go
Yeah.
ahead and say what you're saying.
Then pot two: Panama, Haiti, Jamaica, Guatemala, and then pot three is Honduras, El Salvador, Cuba, and Nicaragua. Pot four, just gonna be funny. Qatar, they got invited
Yeah.
because money, 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 money. And then the winners of the prelims will take up the last spots. So from what I understand, the way I understand this works is so for example, pot one is all the big teams because they're ranked higher, and then each pot has a lower ranked team. That's why pot four has all the prelim winners because we're all the lowest ranked teams down here. I say we because Trinidad. And that's kind of how it works for the World Cup too. The higher teams get seeded first, so they don't play each other immediately, and then the lower teams get spread out and take out the other spots. So once these prelims get figured out, then I think they're gonna redraw everybody to the official Gold Cup groups. So that's how that's gonna work.
No, they announced it here. Here are the groups. 2023, according to Fox Soccer,
Mm-hmm.
2023 CONCACAF Gold Group stage is locked in. So the Group A is USA, Jamaica, Nicaragua.
Oh, okay.
Prelims winner 9 is going to join that group. Group B is Mexico, Haiti, Honduras, and Qatar. Group C is Costa Rica, Panama, El Salvador. Prelims winner 8. Group D is Canada, Guatemala, Cuba, and prelim winner 7.
Gotcha.
So that's
There you go.
already that's already seeded up. Yeah, we're Group A.
Did we
you got
talk about the
Jamaica,
stadiums?
Nicaragua.
Because I know they announced those. Did we ever talk about which stadiums were being used?
Yeah, but Drive Pig is the most important one for us, honestly. And
Oh, of course.
I'm
Yeah,
very
yeah.
tired, so that's it.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so
And
I think
then
I think they were going. They chose something. I heard people complaining about them all being in the Midwest. And I
no,
think the
that
final
they weren't
is in San Diego.
because they picked
Oh yeah, they're
they
not.
picked a bunch of teams. They picked a bunch of Texas stadiums. They picked us, a couple on the West Coast or East Coast, but like nothing
Was
in
the
the
final
Midwest
in
or the
San Diego?
Northeast. Huh?
Was the final San Diego? I forgot what the
I
final
don't think
was.
they have
San
announced
Diego,
that
I
yet.
think.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think it's San Diego.
Okay,
I
that'd
got
be
you.
cool.
Cool.
And then the last thing that we'll
Yeah.
go over, like you mentioned, your tired, so we can get you out of here. Let's go over some headlines. These are just some really quick things just to go over. We're not going to talk about nothing crazy. It's mostly call ups.
It,
Uh,
it's in Inglewood, so
that's
I don't know what.
SoFi Stadium.
So far, okay, so far, yeah.
Yeah, that's SoFi. Yeah, it's in Inglewood. All right, so let's go over these headlines. This is mostly going to be call ups of academy players. We can go over that real quick. Brian's gonna have to help me with this name. I'm gonna try and pronounce it because it's a really long name. Marco Cantalapiedra. Did I say that right?
Yeah, yeah. Marco Cantalapiedra.
Okay.
Got called up by Puerto Rico U15.
Yes,
He's
he
an
got called up
academy
to
player,
yep,
correct?
Puerto Rico U15. He got called up to, so that's gonna be great. He's gonna be playing 3 games against Costa Rica, Nicaragua, and El Salvador at the end of the month.
Cool, good for him. That's awesome.
Next
Always
up,
good to see.
Cesar Albieda Neta Reda. He got named to the MLS Next Pro Rising Star of the Match Day. He was the one that came in and got he scored a goal after just being in for just like 17 seconds. He immediately scored a goal. He's only 17 years old.
Give me a moment. I think you butchered that name pretty bad.
I'm pretty sure I did.
Say it one more time. Say it one more time.
Cesar Albieda Redna. I'm butchering it. I'm sorry.
Wait. Let me find it real quick. Okay, Cesar Abadia Reda.
Yeah. They said his
Try
name
one
is
more time.
Cheche.
Cesar Abadia
Albadia Reda.
Yeah, there you go. You got
There
it.
you go.
There you
Hooked
go.
on phonics in Spanish with
Yeah.
Love So he got named player rising star of the match day for his 17-second goal against, I believe it was Chicago.
Yeah, that's awesome, bro. That's one of the best parts of.
Yep, and I was
Listen,
watching
I'm
that game. It
looking correctly.
was a really good goal. I was watching that game.
He's got number 76, which is pretty dope.
They have all the
76
crazy
right there.
numbers in that thing.
Well,
Next,
they're not because they're not allowed to repeat numbers.
yeah, because they're considered part of the
Like,
whole roster. So yeah.
yeah.
Then we have Kai
So
Nesfield, who got called up to the U14 Croatian national team. So we got
Cool.
Croatians in
Cool.
the
That's really cool.
academy. Let's see what he's gonna be doing. He's gonna be playing a tournament up in Croatia. So that's gonna be cool. Not much info on that. Next up we have Santiago Morales called up to the U17 American team, which is great. I think he's been called up before, which is awesome. And then the last thing, real quick, no more call-ups, but apparently Argentina is looking to have their headquarters in Miami. Argentina, the Argentinian Federation, they're looking to build a headquarters up here in Miami. What was the neighborhood that you said it was?
Uh, North Bay Village. This is, if you're not familiar with North Bay Village, it's an island in between Biscayne. It's in Biscayne
It's in
Bay.
the intercoastal.
It's an island. Yeah, it's in the intercoastal between, the main city off of 79th Street Causeway, JFK Causeway, which goes into Miami Beach, North Beach over there. It's
Mm-hmm.
a beautiful neighborhood. It's a really nice neighborhood on the bay there. I
Mm-hmm.
actually grew up there with my family. And I'm not sure if they're looking to. I think it got confirmed. Let me look it up real quick. Um,
Yeah.
so, so I guess while I look it up, go ahead and tell people what you were telling me earlier, which is what you what why people were saying they're doing it.
So kind of what I heard, or what was alluded to, that they kind of want to not only, it's a good reason to have a headquarters here, so they can. Basically, what I heard is they're doing it for a lot of scouting, especially if they can poach dual nationals. Like I think don't we have Argentina in our academy or something like that who got called up to Argentina? I forget his name, but recently we had a
In our
player.
academy,
Yeah, I think.
Kamashi,
Yeah.
Benjamin
Karamashi's Argentina.
Kamashi
That's
got
right. That's right.
he got called up to the U20, I believe,
Yes, he got
but
called
he's
up to
also been
U20.
called up to USA's U20s as well.
He's still on. It's youth academy, so he can do both.
Yeah,
So for stuff like that, that's what I heard. That was the illusion, or they alluded to that. That's why they want to have a academy, or at least the headquarters here. So it makes it easier. It makes scouting a lot easier, and not even just here in South Florida, just in America in general. Having scouts already in America, or having like having information on American players who might be dual nationals, or just scouting them at a very young age, is actually a really smart move.
it is a smart move, and I looked up the information here, so it is confirmed, like I heard earlier.
Okay,
So
good.
it's not that they're thinking of doing it. It's confirmed to happen now. Supposedly it's behind the elementary school in the neighborhood there, so they're not gonna have a building on the bay. Um, I don't know if it's just gonna be an office there. I don't have the details.
Yeah,
If they're
probably.
gonna build a whole building, a training facility, but there's not a lot of land there. I would
Yeah,
imagine that
I
it's
think it's
probably just an
just the
office.
headquarters, just to like
Just I had
paperwork and shit.
oh,
Yeah.
actually no. Oh, no. Here's the picture. Oh wow, this is nice.
Mm.
This is actually a really nice headquarters. It looks, yeah, and it's
They
got
have like
like,
renders for it
so
already.
yeah, they have renders for it. I'm looking at them now. They're pretty nice, and they actually have a field there.
Mm.
Pretty cool stuff. Um, and it looks really cool. It's right actually next to my family's house.
Nice.
It's funny enough. So, they looking at it, I see why people are saying that now. Actually, at first I wasn't too convinced of it because, like, look at players like Sonora, by the way, Alan Sonora, who are Argentine America, play in the Argentine league, but he plays for the U.S. national team, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's hard to make it for Argentina. Um, so at first I'm like, is Argentina actually looking for talent here? And it's like, no, they are. That's one of the benefits of it. You're right, but I think the other benefit of it is the financial part of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is the first of all, I read an article here too. The Copa America is coming here, right?
Mm-hmm.
They want to have a thing going on here for Copa America. The World Cup is coming here in 2026. They want to have a presence here
Gold Cup,
because, like,
World Cup, all these different tournaments in America.
the game is growing. In Gold Cup always happens here, but whatever. The Copa America is the big deal,
Mm-hmm.
and the World Cup. But there's money to be made here, and there isn't much of a presence here other than what is like a grassroots presence of Argentine Americans that get settled in North Beach, very close to North Bay Village. That's where most of the Argentines get together. So I think it's a project that makes sense. It's probably made sense for a really long time, and I think it's only good for the game down here and beneficial for the game. So I'm all for it.
Not even just that. I saw an interview, or parts of an interview. You mentioned the game growing here. It was Men in Blazers. They're doing an interview with the president of UEFA, and he says inevitably we will have a UEFA Champions League final in America. So that just kind of shows you that how big like a market America is and how much of an untapped market it is the president of
Will it be
UEFA.
played on a turf field? Will it be played on a
Oh
turf field?
God. I will die if that happens, bro. You that if they do that, they
Let's
will.
end the episode. That's how we end the episode.
Yeah,
There we
that's
go.
it. All right, we're done. That's it.
UCL final on a turf field. Boom. Welcome
Done.
to La
That
Ventanita C.F, dog.
I'm deleting the channel, everything, bro. I'm deleting the Twitter, all of it. If that happens, bro, hold me to that. That would be crazy. Watch him holding fucking in the
I think
Giants
that was pretty
jersey.
controversial. I think that news was pretty
I don't
controversial.
think it is
Speaking
at
of
all.
tidbits,
That's a very
no, I thought it was. No, I thought it was. I don't know. I didn't really get a chance to look at it. I just saw like a screwed by it on Twitter, and I saw people dissing
he
it.
didn't say like we're definitely doing it in the next 2 years. He says it's an inevitability, especially because the market that we have, there's no reason not to. It's business.
With how I saw people talking about it, like the little that I did see, I thought that they had like already announced games or something.
No, he was
We're
saying
working
that
on this.
there's one day it'll happen. That's what he's saying. Of course.
And one day I'm gonna live on Mars
Yeah.
with Elon.
And
with Elon
remember,
Musk,
he's the
bro.
UEFA president. He wants people to talk about it. Like, of course he's gonna say controversial shit like that. He's the UEFA president. He's basically the CEO of a company.
Yeah.
So that's everything. So yeah, a lot of interesting stuff going on if you're not an Inter Miami fan. So it was nice to be able to like watch and enjoy soccer for a bit, and not have to like stress out except for the game. And even though we did finally win a game, I don't count. It's hard to see this game as a win. It was a terrible win, and you had to go to penalties for us to actually win a game. So
It's not a win. It's not a win. It's advancing on penalty kicks.
it's advancing in a tournament. I don't count this as
drew.
a win.
We
Yeah.
drew.
So better. Hey, more than what we're doing in MLS. So yeah. Any final thoughts before we go?
Peace out, Girl Scout.
Mm. Yeah.
Fuck Inter right now, dude. This shit sucks. Somebody, SOS. Somebody come rescue us, bro.
For
We need a new
real.
coach.
Anybody would know.
Somebody come slap up Jorge and Jose Mas. Tell these motherfuckers to hire a goddamn fucking coach. Peace
Bring over
out,
Tata.
bitches.
The more I
See
think
you
about it,
later.
the more I think about it, I think Tata should come through. But anyways, good luck. Have fun. See you guys later.